Due to the events of the days and weeks following Election Day in November, there's concern that many conservative voters in Georgia will not make it to the polls on January 5th. This is for the important U.S. Senate runoff races. The belief is they don't feel they'll be treated fairly. But GOP leaders in the state say they're taking several steps to make sure there is a fair election, especially in areas they've learned are troubled areas for voter fraud.
The Republicans volunteers are manning the early voting places from the time they open till they close. We didn't do that in the presidential election, just to ensure, have eyes on to make sure there's nothing going on during the early voting.
GOP leaders are also more informed about other forms of balloting and will take steps to ensure they are not being manipulated in any way.
The absentee voting, that was a big issue in the presidential election on November 3rd. We also are monitoring the signatures as they come in, which we did not do before.
Of course, these runoffs can also end in calls for an audit or calls for a recount.
This is a completely new election, and all election laws apply to this is the same as they have in the previous election. So if there was suspicious activity, it would be investigated. Currently, even in the November 3rd election, there are still over 200 investigations going on in the Secretary of State's office in Georgia. And if anybody sees anything that they think is not right or going on that might be voter fraud or whatever, they should immediately contact their county GOP chairman.
There is also a hotline number to call for voter fraud incidents in the state of Georgia. It is 877-725-9797. Now, in order to win, the GOP voters in rural areas have to get out and counter urban areas in the state. That's why Pound says he's trying to get out the votes these days.
I just recently put it into our local papers, an editorial, saying it was very simple, that if the party that turns out the most people to vote, the Democrats and the Republicans, are going to decide who's going to be in control of the U.S. Senate, and that we needed to get every vote out possible that we could get out. And I encouraged them to get 10 of their family, friends, and neighbors, and have the 10 family, friends, and neighbors get 10 of their family, friends, and neighbors, so on and so forth.
Frank McCaffrey reporting for Americans for Limited Government.